Marc Marquez has a bad day this time after falling in close-up with Martin. Latest update on Jack Miller after his major crash at the Malaysian Grand Prix. KTM boss shares his take on the shocking Sepang incident with Jack Miller. Stay tuned until the end. The Malaysian MotoGP at Sepang witnessed a dramatic opening lap as KTM teammates Jack Miller and Brad Binder became involved in a chain reaction crash that forced a temporary halt to the race. What began as a routine first corner of the race quickly turned into a high-stakes battle for control as multiple riders clashed at turn 2 in a fast-paced struggle for position. The chaotic sequence drew in Yamaha's Fabio Quartararo, resulting in a collision that left Miller needing medical attention on track and triggered a red flag, much to the concern of fans and teams. In the opening seconds of the race, Binder was riding aggressively, closely following the riders ahead of him and navigating Sepang's tight high-speed corners. Approaching turn 2, he made a subtle move to avoid direct contact with the rider in front. However, this forced him to slightly straighten his RC16, resulting in an unexpected nudge that caught Quartararo off guard. The jolt set off a quick domino effect. Quartararo, pushed slightly off his line, collided with Miller, who was on the inside and in a vulnerable position. Unable to avoid contact, Miller was forced off balance, sending him crashing down onto the tarmac and into 2 other riders. The incident left Quartararo and Binder able to ride on, albeit shaken, while Miller lay on the track, visibly distressed and in need of immediate medical assistance. As the safety team rushed to his side, race officials decided to red flag the race to ensure proper medical attention. After several tense minutes, Miller was eventually taken from the track to an awaiting ambulance, where he was transported to the circuit's medical center for a thorough examination. Later, however, Miller was seen walking back to the paddock, appearing largely unharmed and confirming that the crash had not led to serious injuries. Binder, meanwhile, attempted to regroup after the incident, preparing for a potential restart. However, the crash had taken a toll on him as well. After an inspection lap, Binder realized that he was experiencing significant pain in his left shoulder, enough to make riding unsafe. Recognizing the risk, he decided to retire to the pit lane, opting not to continue, and thereby ensuring his own safety and that of other riders on the track. Reviewing the footage, KTM's team management sought to understand the cause of the incident. The video suggested that Binder's position on the inside, combined with his need to avoid the rider ahead, had inadvertently triggered the series of collisions. While Quartararo was directly impacted, the crash resulted more from a racing incident than any individual error or recklessness. KTM team principal Francesco Guidotti commented that it was simply an unfortunate sequence of events, noting the unpredictable nature of such incidents, especially on the hectic first lap of a MotoGP race. In a sport defined by split-second decisions, what may seem a minor adjustment can have far-reaching and dramatic effects. Once the track was cleared, the race resumed, and the competition remained intense. Ducati's Francesco Bagnaia ultimately edged out Jorge Martin in a nail-biting battle, with the title now set to be decided in the final round of the season. KTM's best finish came from young Pedro Acosta, who secured 5th place for the Tech 3 team, showing resilience and determination despite the day's dramatic start. Sepang's twists and turns once again highlighted the fine line MotoGP riders tread between control and chaos. This incident underscored the dangers inherent in elite motorcycle racing, where even a split-second miscalculation can lead to significant consequences for riders and teams. As the season heads into its final showdown, KTM and its riders will be eager to reset and focus on finishing the season strong, while taking stock of the risks that each race inevitably brings. Marc Marquez's ambitions were put to the test at the Malaysian GP as he struggled to keep up the pace against Jorge Martin, ultimately ending in a fall that dashed his hopes of a podium finish. Though he initially fought his way to the front, aggressively defending his position in third, a fierce battle with Martin saw Marquez unable to keep his balance, causing a crash that left fans and commentators alike in shock. The opening laps had seen Marquez in peak form, trading overtakes with Martin in a duel that was as skillful as it was intense. The GP23 machine seemed to respond well under his command, allowing him to maintain strong positioning and put pressure on Martin and the rest of the lead pack. However, the bike's limits would be tested as Marquez pushed himself and his machine beyond what could be sustained. After the crash, Marquez didn't give up, determined to salvage what he could from the race. Though he managed to get back on track, it was clear the momentum had shifted, and he was forced to chase rather than lead. His tenacity paid off to some extent as he eventually crossed the finish line in third, showing resilience, but also disappointment. Critics were quick to note that Marquez may have been too aggressive in his handling of the GP23, a bike that has brought him mixed results this season. While his ambition is well known and admired, some are questioning whether the current setup can handle his level of intensity. The Malaysian GP was a reminder that even the most talented riders face limitations when bike and ambition don't fully align. The fall also brought up bigger questions about Marquez's future in MotoGP. With only a handful of races left in the season and his name already missing from the list of potential 2024 world champions, the pressure is mounting for him to make a statement next year. Marquez has shown flashes of brilliance on the GP23, but consistency remains elusive, especially against rivals like Martin and the other Ducati riders. With his upcoming switch to the factory Ducati team in 2025, many wonder if this is the start of a new era for Marquez. His time with Gresini Racing may not have brought the world title he hoped for, but it has shown that he still has the fire to compete at the highest level. It's a bittersweet farewell as he leaves without the title, but perhaps with lessons that will serve him well on a new machine. As Marquez reflects on what went wrong in Malaysia, fans can only speculate on how he'll approach the challenges ahead. The move to the factory Ducati setup is bound to bring new possibilities, but also new expectations. Whether or not he can channel his ambition into a winning formula will be the question of the season. One thing is certain. Marc Marquez doesn't back down easily. While his name may be absent from this year's champions list, the fire that has defined his career is still burning. Malaysia may have been a setback, but as he shifts his focus to the future, fans know that the story of Marc Marquez in MotoGP is far from over. The coming months will be critical as Marquez prepares for 2025, likely with an eye on learning from every moment, every race and every fall. For Marquez, the journey continues with a new chapter, and his fans know to expect the unexpected. Hey MotoGP fans, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest action.